Imagine for a moment a world where dreams are more than just fleeting thoughts of the night. Close your eyes and picture a quiet moonlit meadow stretching far beyond the horizon. The sky above is scattered with countless stars, their gentle glow casting a silver hue over the earth. A soft breeze carries the scent of blooming lavender, brushing against your skin like a whisper from the night itself. Beneath the expanse of this sky stands a traveller, a young soul draped in a warm, earth-toned cloak, walking with a quiet curiosity. Their name is Elinor, and this journey is unlike any they've ever taken. Elinor's steps crunch lightly against the soft gravel path, a sound so faint it feels like the earth is breathing along with them. Ahead, a forest emerges from the mist, its trees tall and ancient, their trunks glowing faintly with a mysterious golden light. The forest hums with an energy Elinor cannot explain, a sound that is neither music nor silence, but something in between. As they step closer, the glow intensifies. Each tree radiates a warmth that feels like an embrace, and Elinor notices something peculiar. Etched into the bark of each tree are tiny, intricate symbols that seem to shift and change with every passing moment. A soft voice, as light as the wind, whispers, "Welcome, dreamer." Elinor looks around but sees no one. "Who's there?" they ask softly, their voice trembling slightly. The voice answers, "I am the forest. I have been here for centuries, guarding the dreams of those who have walked this world. Every tree you see holds the essence of a dream, each one precious, each one eternal." Elinor feels a sense of wonder and hesitance, but takes another step forward. As they approach the first tree, the golden glow intensifies, and the symbols on its bark shimmer like fireflies. Without thinking, Elinor reaches out and gently touches the tree. In an instant, the world around them fades. Elinor finds themselves standing in a different place entirely, a lush field where children laugh and play under a warm sun. One of the children, a little boy with bright, curious eyes, turns to Elinor and says, "This was my happiest dream. I was free, and the world was endless." The scene dissolves and Elinor is back in the forest, standing before the tree. "Was that a memory?" they ask aloud. The forest answers, "It was a dream, one that brought comfort and joy to a soul long ago. Every tree here holds such a dream, waiting to be remembered." Elinor continues deeper into the forest, marveling at the glowing trees, each one unique in its shape and light. Soon, they come upon a shimmering river winding through the woods. Its waters are not like any Elinor has seen before. They sparkle as if made of liquid stardust, flowing gently and illuminating the path ahead. Curious, Elinor kneels by the riverbank and dips a hand into the water. The moment they do, a vision unfolds before their eyes. a young woman sailing across an endless ocean under a sky ablaze with auroras. The woman is singing a song, her voice soft and melodic, filled with hope and longing. When the vision ends, Elinor looks to the forest for answers. Who was she? She was a dreamer, the forest replies. Her dream was of freedom and exploration, and it remains here, flowing through the waters of this river. Every drop carries the echoes of countless dreams, connecting them all. As the night deepens, Elinor feels an unspoken pull toward the heart of the forest. There they find a massive tree towering above the rest, its golden light almost blinding. Standing before it is a figure cloaked in silvery robes, the guardian of the forest. The guardian turns to Elinor, their face serene and kind. You have walked far, dreamer. What is it that you seek? Elinor hesitates before replying. I'm not sure. I was drawn here. I think I've been searching for something, but I don't know what. The guardian smiles. Every dreamer comes here searching, whether they realize it or not. This forest holds not just the dreams of others, but your own as well. Touch the great tree, and you will see. With a mixture of anticipation and fear, Elinor steps forward and places a hand on the tree. The golden light envelops them, and suddenly they are standing in a beautiful meadow, much like the one they had seen before entering the forest. But this time, it's different. The meadow feels alive with colour and warmth, and in the distance, Elinor sees their younger self, carefree and laughing under the sun. They are surrounded by loved ones, their faces glowing with joy. Tears well up in Elinor's eyes as they realize what they've been searching for, the sense of belonging and peace they had once known but forgotten in the rush of life. The vision fades and Elinor is back in the forest. The guardian speaks softly. Your dream is still within you, waiting to be embraced. Carry it with you and let it guide you. As the first light of dawn begins to pierce through the canopy, Elinor feels a deep sense of calm and gratitude. They thank the guardian and the forest for their gift and turn to leave, the golden light of the trees guiding them back to the meadow where their journey began. And as they step out of the forest of eternal dreams, Elinor knows that the peace they found here will stay with them, lighting their path in the waking world. Imagine a remote island surrounded by restless waves. The sky is painted in shades of grey, and the wind carries the scent of salt and sea. Perched atop a rocky cliff is an old lighthouse, its stone walls weathered by years of storms and sun. This is the home of Silas, the lighthouse keeper. For as long as anyone can remember, Silas has lived here alone, tending the light that guides ships safely through the treacherous waters below. Every evening as the sun dips beneath the horizon, Silas climbs the spiraling staircase of the lighthouse to light the great lantern. But Silas has a secret known only to him and the moon. Silas's days are quiet and simple. He spends his mornings repairing the lighthouse and his afternoons watching the sea. The waves crash rhythmically against the rocks, a sound that Silas finds both soothing and endless, like the heartbeat of the world. But it is the nights that hold the magic. As the stars emerge one by one, Silas lights the lantern. Its beam cuts through the darkness, a steady golden light that sweeps across the ocean. And then, when the world is still, Silas steps out onto the balcony of the lighthouse and looks up at the moon. The moon has been Silas's companion for years. Its soft glow lights the island, and on particularly clear nights, it seems to draw closer, as though listening. "Hello, old friend," Silas whispers one evening, his voice carried away by the breeze. The moon does not reply with words, but Silas feels its presence, a comforting stillness that fills the air. He likes to imagine that the moon understands him, that it watches over him just as he watches over the ships. But Silas knows there is more to this bond than he can explain, for in the deepest hours of the night, when the world sleeps, the moon sometimes shares its secrets. It was many years ago, on a night much like this one, that the moon gave Silas the lantern. A fierce storm had descended upon the island, and Silas, then a young keeper, feared the light would fail. The wind howled and the waves roared, and the darkness seemed endless. As Silas stood on the balcony staring into the tempest, the clouds parted briefly and the moon appeared. Its glow was unusually bright, illuminating the stormy sea, and in that moment a single beam of moonlight struck the lantern, filling it with a radiant silvery light. When the storm passed, Silas found the lantern unchanged, yet its light seemed different. It was no longer just a beacon for ships. It was a light that brought peace to all who saw it. Over the years, Silas noticed the lantern's effect on the sailors who passed by. They spoke of how its glow seemed to calm the sea and ease their fears. Some even claimed that the light healed their hearts, washing away their sorrows like the tide erasing footprints from the sand. But the lantern's magic was not just for the sailors. On quiet nights, Silas would sit beneath its beam and feel its warmth seep into his soul. It was as though the light carried the moon's gentle wisdom, reminding him that even in the darkest times, there is beauty and hope. One evening, as Silas was preparing the lantern, he noticed a small boat approaching the island. It was rare for anyone to visit, and Silas watched with curiosity as a young woman stepped ashore. Her name was Clara, and she had come seeking the lighthouse. "They say your light is special," she told Silas, her voice tinged with wonder. They say it has the power to mend what is broken. Silas nodded, but said nothing. He led Clara to the lantern room where the great light shone brightly, casting its glow across the sea. Clara stood silently, her face illuminated by the light. Tears welled in her eyes, and she whispered, "It feels like it's speaking to me, like it knows my pain." Silas smiled gently. "The light carries the moon's gift," he said. "It doesn't just guide ships, it guides souls." As the weeks passed, Clara chose to stay on the island, helping Silas with his duties. She spoke often of the peace she found in the lighthouse, and Silas noticed that her laughter, once hesitant, now came freely. One night, as they sat on the balcony together, Silas told Clara the story of the lantern. "The moon gave me this light," he said. "It promised that as long as I kept it burning, it would bring hope to those who needed it." Clara looked up at the moon, her expression thoughtful. "Do you think the moon will ever take the light back?" she asked. Silas shook his head. "The moon's gifts are eternal. It gives without expecting anything in return." Years passed, and Clara eventually left the island, her heart healed and her spirit renewed. But she never forgot the lighthouse or its keeper. She shared the story of the lantern with others, and soon the lighthouse became a symbol of hope for all who heard its tale. Silas continued his work, lighting the lantern each night and speaking to the moon. And though he grew older, he never felt alone, for he knew that as long as the lantern burned, the moon's promise would endure. One evening, as Silas sat on the balcony, he felt a deep sense of peace. The moon hung low in the sky, its glow softer than usual, as if saying goodbye. Silas closed his eyes, letting the light of the lantern wash over him. He thought of all the lives it had touched, all the souls it had guided, and with a contented sigh he whispered, "Thank you, old friend." The next morning, when the villagers came to visit the lighthouse, they found Silas resting peacefully in his chair, a serene smile on his face. The lantern still burned brightly, its light as steady and golden as ever. And though Silas was gone, the lighthouse remained, a beacon of hope, a testament to the moon's gift, and a reminder that even in the darkest times, light can always be found.